Welcome to Just Some Guy Trading with 2021 World Champion Trader Kevin McCormick. Thanks for tuning into this special report on Just Some Guy Trading with Kevin McCormick. As my followers on Twitter know, I tweeted out about the sequential 13 sell signal that we received this week. And I wanted to do a deep dive into this because as my followers know, I use a combination of the DeMARK and Larry Williams technical indicators. And the sequential and combo 13s have been pretty reliable over the last 2 years. And this was an important one to take a look at. So on this chart here, I have the combo and sequential. Sequential is the red 13, combo is the magenta 13s. And you'll see here, this is the 13 that I was referencing this week that we had in the middle of the week with all the movement and I guess flight to safety into Microsoft and Apple really kind of moved the Nasdaq and the QQQs higher this week and triggered this 13 right at this area of resistance that we've discussed in the past. This has been a very key level. You'll see back here that the 9 sell was a good sell signal and we pulled back and now we're approaching this again. So the big question for all of us that are traders out here is, does this mean that the Nasdaq is looking for a major move lower? Before we jump into that, let's take a look at what happened the last time we had the sell 13. That occurred back here on November 18th. Sell countdown 13, and before that one we had a combo sell 13 that occurred. And you'll see here just throughout this year that we've had some good buy signals and a few good sell setups, but this is the first 13 since November of 2021, and this is why it's so important to talk about. But what's different about this time compared to November 2021? Let's take a look at the S&P 500. On the S&P 500, we had sell 13 combo and a sell 13 sequential indicator, but they came a little bit later. This one was on the 22nd, and then we had this one here that occurred. But the more important thing is that these sell signals lined up last time. And right now, while we had a sell 13 in the Nasdaq, the S&P 500 isn't close to hitting any sell signals using the DeMARK indicators. But one of the differences is we've already had a retracement rally and confirmed breakout in the S&P 500. And our next areas of resistance are at 420, which I have highlighted over and over again as a major area of resistance in this market. And then up here at 430 is our next retracement level. So what this means to me is it looks like the Nasdaq could lose some steam here, but the S&P 500 is where traders should be looking for the next move higher. But as my followers know, I say we never trade off of just one indicator. And what I want to take a closer look at to kind of align with what we're seeing right now with the DeMARK indicators is let's take a look at the Williams True Seasonal Indicator. Okay, what I have up on the screen now is the Williams True Seasonal for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Nasdaq is the top chart. S&P 500 is the bottom chart. Blue line is the Williams True Seasonal, which highlights how the market tends to move during certain periods of time. And the beauty of this is it shows us the future before it occurs. And so taking a look at this is where we see there is actual divergence between the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 this year, which I think aligns with what we're seeing with the DeMARK signals. So the Nasdaq right now, oddly enough, doesn't always work out this way on a weekly basis, said, hey, we probably have a little blip higher the week we just had, but we should have a small pullback during this period of time all the way into mid-April with, the next move occurring, that last week of April. Big difference between the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 right now. S&P 500, actually we're heading into a very strong seasonal period, and the month of April is filled with historically strong trading days and very good seasonal buy signals. You'll hear me talk about them later on in April as well, but this is a very big difference here. right now the true seasonal is saying, hey, we could have one more week down, but we really should be starting a rally right here, right now in the S&P 500. So how should we look at this? I think this actually confirms what we're seeing with the DeMARK Nasdaq sell 13 signal. The Nasdaq has been overbought due to the banking crisis. Maybe this could be our last week of digestion of the banking crisis and the runs on the bank, and the market will have its rotation out of the Nasdaq and back in the S&P 500 right on schedule for the rally that is scheduled to start basically right here, right now in the S&P 500. So the major question out there, do I think the Nasdaq's set up for a major fall? I don't. I think we're probably in an area of consolidation. And from a trading perspective, we should be looking for and taking buy signals in the S&P 500 for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Thanks for watching Just Some Guy Trading. If you want to be able to see more great content as we release it like this, please like and subscribe.